You all right?
Yes.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and welcome to the pre-match press conference for the FIFA World Cup qualifier between Zimbabwe and Benin here at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. My name is Mike Madoda. I'm the media officer for the Warriors of Zimbabwe. And with me at the front, far right, is the coach of the Zimbabwe senior men's national team. That is Michael Nees. And sitting to my immediate right is the captain of the Warriors. That is Marshall Munetsi. I'm going to start with you, coach, to give us your thoughts on this important game between the Warriors and the Cheetahs.
Thanks a lot, Mike. First of all, everybody welcome. It's always nice to have press conference with Zimbabwe because there's around 20 or more people here already, which shows a very good interest and a lot of passion. Yeah, everybody knows it's the restart of the World Cup qualification, which was interrupted by the AFCON qualification, and 4 games are already played in that qualification before my time, and there are 6 remaining games, and every match counts. 18 points to play for. Benin with among a trio on the top of the table. It is clear if we want to get closer, we need to have a positive result and a positive restart. And then I think the impression so far, we can be confident, positive going this match without being overconfident, with focus and concentration. I think if we bring our best, then we can be successful.
I'm also going to ask the captain just to say a few words. And Marshall, the Warriors finishing last year, 2024, on a high, qualifying for the Africa Cup of Nations. Is that the form you want to bring into these World Cup qualifiers?
Yes, I think we didn't really start well. We had a rebuilding phase, especially in the first 2 World Cup qualifying games. But I think since our coach Michael Nees came on board, we have really progressed very well. Everybody has been really confident, and I think we've been doing quite well. So I think we are very confident going into this game, and would want to continue building up, and also looking forward to facing a tough opponent because they have 7 points for a reason. You know, they are one of the teams that are in form also. So I think we're going to take it as seriously as we would do any other game. So I think for us it's just to make sure that we capitalize our home advantage far away from home, and make sure that we make our people proud.
Excellent. We'll open up to questions. Like I said, please just indicate by raising your hand and then introduce yourself and your media organization and fire away. We'll start with you, Larry.
Okay, my name is Larry Tresida from ZBC. My question comes to you, Marshall. How difficult is it to face Benin tomorrow, noting that traditionally they are not one of the big boys, but they've got very good players?
I think if you check on African football now, a lot of teams have progressed. Benin also have some players who are playing in Europe. I also played against their captain. So if you check on paper these days, you don't really look at the names, but you look at what the team is producing. So they have been doing quite well. They had good results against Nigeria. They also qualified for AFCON. So it's not a team that you're going to take lightly. And that's why when you look at the group now, they are where they are for a reason. So we have to respect that. But we also have to impose our game. We have to do the things that the coach has been helping us. We have good, young, talented players who are coming up the ranks. So I think for us, it's not an easy game, but we do have to take it as a final, because if we don't get a good result tomorrow, then it might be difficult for us to continue with our campaign.
Coach, doesn't it give you a headache maybe when it comes to selecting players? We know we've got a big squad and good players who are playing all around the country. Doesn't it maybe give you a headache sometimes?
No, it doesn't make me. There's other things which makes me headaches, but not that. For example, today I think they built up some cameras while we are training or something, which I'm not really happy about. I have no control what they're doing. That makes me more headaches than with regards to the selecting players. I know them very well, and I have a lot of confidence. and they're all good guys, good football players. And if someone, for whatever reason, doesn't get well into the game or doesn't have his best day, we have people behind who can immediately give an impact to the game. Yeah? It's, for me, these are not headaches. I tell you, there's other things.
Coach, so we had an earlier conversation last year when we were talking about all the speculation about Knowledge Msona, his return, his retirement, and finally he's back. What drove that decision to try and get him back, and what has he brought to the team right now, being in camp with the rest of the team?
First of all, you need to find out if a player still has the fire, the flame, burning flame to play for your country. And that was very early already when I talked to many players, and he was one amongst them. And that I could sense very quick. But there was, of course, the campaign. I came very late, and then the campaign started well. And then we had these November matches, which was a very tricky situation, because it could have been you go to Cameroon to win. You need a win. And it was there we already had some discussions. Imagine if 2-3 key players from your team drop out, suspension, injuries, or whatsoever, and then you need to go to Cameroon. You need experience, yeah? And we at that time already agreed. In case there is something, he will jump on board. Knowledge is an excellent football player still. He's a very good person, I would say. It's a good character, like Marshall, very kind. Praise me. You see, I like kind players who appreciate the coach. So he's a very good character, good leader, experience. We have also still some youngsters in the backhand, maybe in the next coming month, who regain their fitness or maybe make the next step. We need a good balanced team between experienced players and young players, and the race is open, and Knowledge can add value to our team. Absolutely, I'm very convinced. Yeah? For the quality, it's not a question. And people must not think because someone plays in Saudi Arabia or in Iraq or somewhere, when you really check properly football, they play good football there. It's professional football. So I'm happy. It would be a little bit bizarre if I'm not happy when I ask him to come back.
We still have got 18 points to play for coach, and 5 points difference, best team and the top team.
That's the best one? I didn't understand.
The team on top has 7 points.
Yes.
And we have got only 2 points, and the difference is 5 points. And we still have 18 points to play. Any special game plan?
Yeah, of course we have to.
This game has got so much pressure.
Oh, look, every game has a special game plan or a tactical plan, but of course I've never, how can I say, detailed a game plan on a press conference. Yeah? But it's very simple. Yeah, you have to respect the table situation. Yeah? It's clear. We need to have a positive start in the best possible way, which is a win, to close the gap. A draw would not really help a lot. But on the other side, you have to respect the opponent. They have also strengths, and you cannot just fall in a trap and being overexcited and overmotivated and forget maybe a whole defense and run forward, and then it's a football match. It's a fight. It's going to be a tough game. Benin, normally the games are tight. it's a competitive team, and there's no doubt that it will be competitive tomorrow until the end. And we have to accept that challenge. It's an experienced coach who I know personally since 30 years. He doesn't come, he's actually originally from Mannheim, I'm from Karlsruhe. That's the same area. I don't know where it's in Zimbabwe, something similar. But it's just about 45 kilometers distance between his home. I know his mentality, if you can say. Yeah? Where he comes from. Maybe that's a small advantage.
You guys said you're at the bottom. I mean, lost 2 and drew the other 2, and Zimbabwe have been winning. I mean, I can say World Cup qualifier. I mean, they've been since 2019. Doesn't that put not the pressure, but like a mountain to climb for you? You can win these next 2 games to give yourself a chance.
You have a lot of facts now. 2019, I was not here. Marshall was a much younger player at that time. Yeah, he's now on a different level, I would say. For me, I came in August. Maybe at some stage Zimbabwe didn't bring their full potential. But I think since August we are on a good way. We progress. We found ourselves as a group. We are there's a good, also, it's not only about quality, it's a very good atmosphere in the camp. When you see there's no, different groups. Of course, some like to play cards, others want to play something, table tennis or whatsoever. But they're not really, I think we have a real good harmony in the team. Not too much harmony. There's also rivalry between the players because everybody wants to play, but in a competitive, in a fair competitive spirit. I found that really. I think that's one of our strengths, the character of the team, and they're very fortunate to be there in charge for this group. Maybe Marshall sees it the same.
So I think, like you are saying, we need to have good results in both games. But I think, as the coach is saying, we had issues previously with certain issues that were not on the field of play. But in terms of quality, even back in 2019, we still had a strong squad. But if you check now, we have young players who are playing international football. So I think we have a much more different advantage. And we also have a coach who believes in us, who's giving us a platform to really express ourselves. And, even in the group that we had for the AFCON qualifiers, we were facing Cameroon, you were facing Kenya, so we also had some good opponents. So I think for us, it's also a good challenge. If you are in a situation like this, you don't really look at the difficulty, but you can look at ways of how you can win. It's not always about how you start, but it's about how you finish. So we are looking at it as a good opportunity. If we end up going down in history as being the first group to qualify for a World Cup campaign, then why not? So this is something that really motivates us, and we would want to achieve great things for our country and to make sure that we also, at the end of the day, enjoy the game of football.
Excellent. We'll take one more question.
Oui.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Albert, Oboulidi, Radio Benin. La première que j'ai pour toi, c'est qu'est-ce que tu sais de cette équipe du Bénin? What do you know about the Benin team? Mais réponds en français.
Ok, je connais l'équipe du Bénin parce qu'il y a beaucoup de joueurs qui jouent en France et j'ai déjà regardé plusieurs matchs. Je pense que c'est une équipe qui travaille bien ensemble. Ils ont gagné aussi beaucoup de matchs difficiles à domicile et à l'extérieur. C'est pour ça que quand on avait parlé, on a beaucoup de respect pour eux. On va essayer de respecter l'équipe comme Bénin parce qu'ils ont déjà 7 points. Et nous, on est à domicile maintenant. On va essayer de gagner les matchs, mais aussi ça va être un vraiment très difficile match.
En français, pour le coach.
Yeah, the last question.
Bonjour.
Bonjour coach. Quelles sont vos relations avec le sélectionneur du Bénin, Genot Gor? On sait que vous aviez partagé de très bons moments ensemble.
J'ai fait la connaissance de Genot il y a 30 ans, quand il a travaillé à Bordeaux pour l'équipe B, au moins de 21 de Bordeaux. Et quand moi j'ai fini mes études à l'université, j'ai fait une recherche en sciences de sport. Et j'ai étudié toutes les différentes académies, Ajax Amsterdam, Bordeaux, en Allemagne, Stuttgart et ça. Et pour cela, je suis voyagé à Bordeaux de lui rencontrer. Et juste après, j'ai lui rencontré et visité à Bordeaux. Je pense qu'une ou 2 semaines plus tard, il était devenu comme sélectionneur de première équipe de Bordeaux. Dans cet homme, c'était Zidane, un joueur de Bordeaux, c'était Lisa Rassou, un joueur de Bordeaux, c'était Rikla Bitschke, Christophe Dugarry. C'était une très grande équipe. Et ils sont qualifiés pour la finale de la Coupe d'Europe contre Bayern München. Mais Munich, et ils ont perdu. Et depuis ce temps, les différents chemins sont croisés. Et maintenant, bien sûr, un peu plus. J'ai une bonne relation avec eux, bien sûr, demain, non. Pour les 90 minutes, l'amitié est un peu, comment on peut dire, un peu distante. Oui. Mais après, d'abord, pas de problème.
Merci.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. That brings to an end the pre-match press conference. This was